Oh no, not another Christmas show.
I think I love Retrogames.
Welcome to the Retrogames Christmas show. Let us travel together through a lifetime of 70s and 80s memories, catch up with some old friends, win big in our Christmas competition, and we reveal our top 5 festive games of the year.
I think I love Retrogames.
Yes, hello, it is me, it is Jace at Retrogames. What do you think of that? It is Happy Christmas time. Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas to you. Oliver Tingle's in the house. Yeah! What do you think of that, Oliver?
I think you're a complete moron, like always.
There's no need for that. Same every time. Same every time. Welcome to another Christmas show. It's a year already. Can you believe it is a year?
Blimey, you still smell.
Yeah. I get that.
Have you been eating sewage again?
Well, I'm not going to say anything else about that. Very nice. What are you doing for this Christmas? Are you excited about Christmas? It is Christmas now. This is a Christmas show. Welcome to all the Retrogames fans, and welcome to...
You're so deluded.
There you go. Anyway, let's move on now. This year, we've got some questions for you, Oliver. Oliver Tingle only comes on the show at Christmas time. That is the only time he's here.
Because you're too crap to entertain people yourself.
Yeah, anyway, okay. We've got some letters. We've got some letters from our... You pleased about some letters from our viewers?
Get on with it.
I knew you would be. I knew you'd be pleased. Okay, now the first one is from our old mate James.
What is you are, everybody?
Retro import gamer. Do you know him?
He looks as sad as you.
There's no need to be like that. Dear Oliver, thank you for making my Christmas such a special time. What was it that got you into retro gaming?
Is he thick? Because I'm not into retro games. I hate retro games.
Okay. Was it? Oh well. Okay. I can't really say much to that. Let's move on. Do you want another one?
What do you think?
Oh, you're gonna get one anyway. This is from our old mate PJ. He's in Ireland. Thank you, PJ, for writing in, even though you didn't know you had. Dear Mr. Tingle.
Yeah, respect.
Dear Mr. Tingle, while everyone knows you're always up for the crack, he's in Ireland. That's what they say.
No, you're being racist again.
Maybe I am. What they probably don't know about you is the life-affirming poetry you publish on your blog. Well, I'm surprised as well. Would you recite one of your wonderful poems for us?
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, come on.
Leave me alone. Find something else to talk about.
I just think you could give it a go, though. You can give it something festive for the season. Fancy doing a bit of a poem, just for us? Yeah, a little poem. Come on then.
I'm thinking.
All right. Testing. Come on, one more try. Give us a poem. We'd like to hear it.
All right, I've got one.
Okay, yeah, we're ready.
I'm fed up with eating at Christmas. I munch all day long like a hog, then spend hours locked in the toilet trying to flush a huge log.
Yeah. Pretty disgusting. Sorry about that. It was a bit rude for all your younger viewers. You know you're meant to be a kids entertainer.
I hate kids. Send them to bed.
Okay. That was incredibly evocative. I very much enjoyed that. Now we've got one more question for you, and then we can put you back to bed for another year. What do you reckon?
Tired.
Yeah, this is from our old mate Gen Pix, Generation Pixel. He's in Scotland. Thank you for writing in, Gen Pix. He says, I can't do a Scottish accent. I wish I could.
I bet he doesn't.
Hey, Tingle Man. I heard a rumour that you wrote the classic 8-bit game Gusset Riflers. Can you tell us once and for all if this is true? Gusset Riflers. What the hell is that? I am the world's first retro gamer, and I've never heard of it. What have you got to say about that?
Of course I did write it.
You did you?
Thicko, you don't know anything.
Okay. We better check it out then.
Released in 1983 on the Tinglers label, this tasteful Atari 2600 game, Gusset Riflers, was banned just 6 days later. A simple Wild West battle game, you must manoeuvre around a giant pair of underpants, fail to shoot between the legs and the bullets bounce back at you, while a skillful shot through the gusset will take out your opponent. This game is rubbish.
Hello! Yes, okay, let's get properly into it. Welcome to the Christmas show. Happy Christmas to you all. I hope you are going to have a fantastic Christmas. If you're watching this on Christmas Day, if you're watching we're going live on Christmas Eve. If you're watching this on Christmas Eve, happy Christmas. Let's get excited together. And if you're saving this for the Christmas festive period, happy Christmas! Is that enough Happy Christmases now? I think we're tired of it. This is meant to be a game show. Do you remember, Jace? It's a retro gaming show. Well, this is the Retro Games show, and we go off tangent a little bit on the Retro Games shows. We have a bit of a chat. We're old friends. We're all old friends. Me and the Hardcore 44. Yeah. And if there was a time you wanted to be a member of the Hardcore 44, it is right now, because we're going to have a little competition later, and you might win a prize. Don't you dare fast forward. Don't you dare. Don't you dare fast forward. Okay, now I did ask for memories. This show is all about memories, and not necessarily Christmas memories, but just memories in general, because there is a spark in your brain. There is something amazing when you see something you have not seen for decades. When you see like just a glimpse of, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. It can be anything. It can be a toy. It could be a snack, it could be a TV thing. Those little like little explosions in your brain when you see something you haven't seen for 20, 30 years, and I'm hoping to give you one of those during the course of the show. Now, on that theme, I did ask for people to send in their memories, and I got 2 respondents through email. Two. Yes, the audience has dipped a bit, hasn't it, since the old days. And the first one up, I really appreciate those 2. Thank you. And first up is our old mate, Ollie.
There's a G and an A and an E and an S. And I've dropped it.
Ollie, yes, 8-bit boy, one of the Hardcore 44. And now he's just sent me a Christmas memory, and it's a nice story. I thought we'd read it out. When I was 10, circa 1990, 1991, he's young. He's younger than us. I hate him. I went to another lad's birthday party where he'd been bought a Sega Master System. Now, if you know anything about 8-Bit Boy's channel, he's Sega obsessed. He collects Master System, is his key console. He's got a full set, and then he also collects all the homebrew stuff that's related to it. He talks about a lot about that on his channel, and also the pre-Master System stuff like Japanese Master System, the Sega Mark III, SG-1000, that stuff. So he's Sega mad. So this is relevant to that.
Are you ever going to get to the point?
Butted in on the story. Sorry about that. I waited patiently, but did get my turn and absolutely loved every minute, having never really played any games previously, whatever, only occasionally in an arcade, though Leighton Buzzard didn't have a big arcade at all, if you ever visited, mate. Now, I didn't realise Ollie is in Leighton Buzzard. That's not far from where I live. Why haven't you come round and come on the show? Ollie, I would love to have you on the show. We'll talk Master System in a big way. I think it'd be fun. Come over for a cup of tea. You're only down the road. Anyway, I asked my mum for one immediately for my own birthday, and a few days later spotted one in a second-hand shop at the end of our road in their window. Wow! I passed that shop every day on the way to school and would gaze at the boxed Master System with a handful of games until one day it was gone. Oh, now this is taking a tragic tone. We're meant to be cheerful. This is Christmas. Come on. I was heartbroken until a few weeks later, it was my birthday, and my mum brought out this huge present, which was, of course, the very very same Master System! He got it! The reason it disappeared from the shop is because his mum had gone in there and bought it for him, and he had all that disappointment thinking, it's gone, my dreams are over. But all along, his mum was holding it in, and she saved it, and she made it the best ever birthday he ever had. It's shame it's actually not a Christmas story, it's a birthday story, but then it is Jesus' birthday, apparently. Moving on, and I still use that exact Master System today, and there's something to be said for owning the very same system that you had in the day. I would love to say that my original Spectrum was the one that I got given in 1983. As Christmas present. It isn't. That wore out, it broke, it got replaced, everything's been replaced. I'm not sure what original hardware I actually have from my own youth. And that's kind of tragic, isn't it? My first ever electronic game, I've talked about this before, was Mattel Gravity. You know, I decided to take it to pieces. I got that in 1980. I decided about 1984 to take it apart and just see how it worked and just take all the lights out and take it to pieces and never ever put it back together, and it went in the bin. How disappointing. I have got it again. Obviously, you buy all this stuff back. It's all back in the collection. It's one of my all-time favourite games. But, it's so sad that as a kid, you didn't look after the stuff. I guess... Ollie, you just made better stuff than us. Better stuff. Moving on.
5 retro things.
5 retro things. Yes, 5 retro things is back. It was a big hit last year, wasn't it? Oh yeah, everyone told me. Oh, I loved it when you had 5 retro things. When your normal show has about 20 things. Okay, all right. We have 5 special retro things, and this is number 1. And this is special. They're special things, all right? Special Christmas things. And that is because it is a Christmas card. A Christmas card. What the heck is that, Jace? I'm going to show you on the camera. It is a Christmas card from the Bitmap Brothers. Yeah, from my friends, the Bitmap Brothers. And it's kind of like a funny comedy parody about Speedball, isn't it? It's about Speedball and about gods. And who's that? It's Magic Pockets. But very cool. An actual Christmas card. Wow, and there it is inside. It's got signatures. Happy Christmas from the Bitmap Brothers. They are a bit mad, aren't they? Bitmap Brothers were huge, weren't they? And from that era when programming teams were legendary. It's like, whoa, I'll buy anything by the Bitmap Brothers as soon as it comes out. There was a gloss and a sheen to the graphical style of Bitmap Brothers games. Xenon 2, Speedball 2, Cadaver and Gods, and they're just such great games. Chaos Engine. They're all just exciting, fun games, and I miss them. I wish the Bitmap Brothers were still making games like that. Why did these teams disband? They had the reputation, they had that quality. I don't know, but anyway, not much more I can say. It is a Christmas card. It doesn't say who it was to, but it is signed by the whole Bitmap Brothers team. I don't know if I'm going to list that for sale. Don't really know what to do with it, but it's definitely good for coming on the show. Move on.
I went to CEX and I bought a game. Xbox 360. I didn't like it, but I played it all the same. On my TV, I streamed a video pretending that it wasn't that bad. Now I'm famous all over YouTube.
So we've got another letter. Now this is from our old mate Jabobbly Rob. Jabobbly, yeah, you've got your own dance action. This is the Jabobbly Rob. Come on, let's all do the Jabobbly Rob. Stop it, Jace. Overexcited. What do you expect? It's Christmas Eve. I'm doing this on Christmas Eve. Almost. A seasonal one to start with. Okay, now this is from Jabobbly Rob. He has given me Christmas memories, and he's even supplied photos to go with it, which I shall pepper throughout. Let's see if we can trigger. Let's see if Jabobbly Rob can trigger memories with you. Okay, a seasonal one to start with. The Christmas season would really start with getting the different computer magazines' Christmas issues. They had a themed cover, even if all they did was draw some snow on the title, a few extra pages, reviews of the games of the year, quizzes, the Christmas special magazines. they were exciting. I was always confused about them. They never came out close to Christmas, did they? It's like, it's October and the Christmas issues come out. Hang on, sometime, I don't know if this is true, but I seem to remember, because the months run, they always were out, weren't they? You get the March issue in January, you get, I don't know, back in the old days, computer video games, your Crash, your Zaps, all that stuff, they always seemed, the months on the top of the page never made any sense. So you would get the Christmas issue and in October, and then the next issue that come out would be the November issue. I don't know, is that just me? Or maybe 1 month on, maybe you get the Christmas issue and the next month is the December issue. Some magazines obviously ran in 13 months. They'd squeeze in an extra Christmas special, which was extra special. Yeah, I agree. Freebies in there. You get, like, you know, like he says, posters and calendars, a wall planner for the upcoming year. Yeah, Christmas magazines, they are gone, aren't they? The magazine season, even in the UK, which led the world. The magazine, computer and video game magazine industry, the UK led the world. We had more titles. I can remember even in the 90s, go to America and you think, oh well, check out what their news agents like for video games magazines. What? There's about 4 titles. Seriously, you go into W.H. Smith's circa like 1988, 89, there would be like a whole wall just for video games magazines. You know, we ruled the world on the mags, okay? You all knew that. Anyway, I'm carrying on. Also, I used to pore over the Christmas issue of the Radio Times, working out what to watch and what films to record so I could have them in my collection. Right, okay, so he's using the Radio Times as to build his own video collection. We're going to record all those programs he wants to save on VHS and watch them back all year long. Now, I guess we all did that, didn't we? I remember my dad would always have a list of the things that he wanted to record. I think there was an excitement. You used to get the Radio Times and the TV Times, because the Radio Times only did the BBC channels, the TV Times did all the... I think they also did BBC as well, but you had to have both for some reason. So you'd get the Christmas magazines for the TV. That is also gone, isn't it? Do people still do that? You're buying a TV mag? Does anybody care what's coming on the telly anymore? No, because we've got Netflix and we don't give a monkeys. Moving on. Talking about Christmas paper, I found printed on a C64 Christmas card and sent to me from the 80s from a company called Post Haste Software. I garbled that a bit. He got sent a Christmas card and he sent me a photo of it. Yes, now this is from a company called Post Haste Software. It's a handmade, it looks like it's printed out on a printer, probably in the office. I mean, that's a nice thing to do, isn't it? I mean, I don't remember what games Post Haste Software made. They probably should have spent more time programming and less time printing things. The next thing on his list is the small paper bags Boots used to put a single cassette into. There was this excitement of knowing what was in the bag and taking the game out and reading the inlay cover over the car journey, waiting until you can load it up and play it when you get home. I actually found one of the bags with a receipt in a pile of C64 booklets. No idea what budget software I bought, but it was a bargain. It was only 99p, and here's a photo. Do you remember those bags? Yeah, paper bag. I mean, paper bags are coming back now. They want to bring back paper bags. Let's stop killing the fish. And let's get back to paper bags. So paper bags do fall to pieces and very awkward to cover things up. Bags for life. What? This is some ecological mission. No. Number 3, not Christmassy or game related, but I miss the amount of horror and monster stuff that was around growing up. And that is true, isn't it? Horror and monster stuff. And we'll come to that in our feature in a minute. One thing he really wants to point out is the Dracula ice lolly. Do you remember this? I do remember it.
The unthinkable has happened. The impossible is now true. I've been brought to life in a horrifyingly real iced lolly from Walls. Get your fangs into the strangest lolly you ever tasted before it's too late. Walls Dracula. It's really horrible.
The Dracula ice lolly is weird, but I vividly remember any time I had one, I would bite the head off first and then shave down the shoulders with my teeth. That's, isn't it? You remember how you used to eat these things. It's not just about what they look like and how excited you were to get one. It was how you ate it and how you made it last for hours. Not the lollies last for hours. Okay, now do you remember these, he says, bone shakers. Now I do remember them. I think I remember them. They are sweet bones in a plastic coffin. Wow. If you bought enough, you could build a complete skeleton. Now, I never did this. How amazing. They click together. These sweets click together. They don't make sweets like this anymore, do they? You click the sweets together to make an actual skeleton. And he still remembers the disappointment when he realised the complete built skeleton didn't fit back in the coffin. That is sad, isn't it? Brilliant. Now, on the subject of nostalgia and memories, I have made an epic feature just full of stuff to trigger you. I've split it into 3 parts. Here's the first part of the feature.
So I'm starting our memory journey in the world of television, because in the late 70s and 1980s, the television was the centre of family life. With only 3 available channels, we'd watch anything that was on. Can you imagine people watching ventriloquism now? I'll start my TV journey with Manimal. He's a guy who changes into animals thanks to his inflatable hand. It's terrible effects. Very scary at the time though. TV was scary for us kids. Yes, this looks a bit cheesy compared to modern effects, I will give you that. During the course of the series, he transformed into loads of different animals, but it was always focused on that bubbly hand. Stop motion this time. He's turning into some kind of werewolf, but just look at the end result. You ready for the hand reveal? Oh, it's a teddy! Now this next intro utterly terrified me as a kid. First that spooky nighttime Thames logo. Me and my brother would race up the stairs, hide our heads under the pillow. We knew what was happening on the screen downstairs, but we just didn't want to hear it. As ridiculous as this sounds, this clip still made me scared as I edited this show. I'm pretty sure that shadow is what's going to get me in the end. Oh yes, that is Ron Grainer's deliciously happy yet sinister theme tune. Still a huge influence on my own music. I think it was all about the word unexpected. You didn't know what was coming up in the show, and that was terrifying. But maybe not quite as terrifying as this, Chucky, from John Wyndham, the creator of Day of the Triffids. This is a kids' programme. Yes, they really didn't care about scaring the crap out of kids in the 1980s.
Something changing, something happening.
Sapphire and Steel, a tea time show that stopped me sleeping for weeks.
And the smell of summer.
Ghosts on an abandoned railway station.
And something else still.
It will go back. It will meet us where we were.
Hello! Last week's word was not skimpy, nor was it aching, or avidly.
It was anus! This is the kids' show Jigsaw, which introduced the terrifying Mr. Nosy Bonk and that most ridiculous of old gits, Wilf Lunn.
It does linears. Like this, you see. You put the linear bit down.
Each week another hapless invention, demonstrated by a man with absolutely no charisma whatsoever.
Here comes Bot.
Now it's easy to pick kids' TV as a memory jogger. When you're young, TV shows like this embed themselves into your very soul. But it was kids dancing awkwardly that I remembered the most. This is from the Double Deckers. It's just so over the top. Imagine having to dance while watering flowers. And what can I say about this poor fella? Do you remember Channel 4's Pob? Now for some reason it was educational programmes that really got stuck in my brain as a kid. Maybe because you got the day off school telling your mum you felt sick, and this was kind of sneaky covert entertainment.
Ha, ha, ha.
He's not a vampire.
He wasn't a very kind pig, was he?
Well, the pumpkin wasn't a very kind pumpkin.
No.
Anyone else remember Wordy as fondly as I do?
I've got a picture of a much nicer pig in my book.
This strange educational advert appeared in one episode of one school's programme, but I don't know anyone my age who doesn't know it. Now if like me you've got younger siblings, you've probably got caught up with their programmes too. And then they found a place at the back of your brain to live forever.
Can you play at Let's Pretend? Just pretending.
Yuffie lifts a finger.
I'm sure this guy works in our local kebab shop now.
And a mouse is there. Puts his hands together.
I knew how pathetic this was even when I was 5.
Yuffie lifts a finger. And a scampi darts about.
Yes, a
Yuffie
scampi.
bends another. And a tortoise head peeps out.
Very handy if you're watching this on the toilet.
Stepping stones, 1 and 2 and 3.
I always hated this program. That's the thing, they stick in your brain because you hated them so much.
Bring you to me.
Stig of the Dump, what a classic show. Windows out of jam jars.
My name's Barney. What's yours?
It's what every poor kid at school is going to be called for the next 10 years.
Stig? That's a funny name.
Slightly better than being called a Joey. Thanks, Blue Peter. Metal Mickey.
Just watch this face.
You always hated it, but you watched it anyway. And that is really the point. With only 3 channels to choose from, we used to endure programmes that we would never watch in a million years today. Like Jack Hargreaves teaching us about long-lost country crafts. In your own time, mate.
Now, why should these 2 billocks be such different shapes?
Sorry, Jack, I'll pull my trousers up. Do you remember this one? I remember once Dick opened a Victorian meat can, then ate the black contents on screen.
Welcome to another edition of Bygones, number 18, in fact, sadly for me at any rate, the last one in the series.
The stark truth is that about 80% of all TV from the 70s, 80s was absolute rubbish, like Max Bygraves.
Good night, sweetheart.
You'd spend most of your time dozing off or begging your parents to let you turn it over.
5 retro things. Number 2 in our 5 retro things. Now, I've realised this is starting to feel a bit magazine orientated, and because my number 2 is a magazine. Yes, it's a magazine. It's Input Output magazine. I don't know if you can already see. That is Paul Daniels on the front cover. Yeah, do you like it? Not a lot. Yeah, Paul Daniels. I used to love Paul Daniels. You know, I miss the great entertainers of the 80s and 90s, and he was a legend. He was a legend. The Paul Daniels Magic Show was top tier entertainment, and I used to love it. He made some games, didn't he? There is Paul Daniels game for the BBC, I think. Paul Daniels at home with his Atari. Let's just show you. Now, the reason I've chosen this magazine isn't because of the cover. It's because of something else that was in it. And this is an unusual magazine, Input Output. I got a feeling this was sent to proper enthusiasts, like a first party magazine released by Atari UK. So it's a bit serious. It's very Atari biased, obviously. It's got some news and stuff. But the reason I was really excited about it was because, you know how people now, they do games room. You think it's a modern thing. Oh, games room video, games room tour. You want to go on my games room tour? I do seem to remember there was a Gav who did one of those. The games room tour. Well, that is not new. Sending in photos of what your game area looks like seemed to be, this is 1983. Summer 83, people were doing it there. Look at this. Beautiful setup there. 1983, he has built a fake cabinet to put his Atari 400 on. Can you see that? Isn't that amazing? That's a beautiful piece of work, that. Yeah, well done. And they welcomed pictures like this. Welcome pictures of people's gaming areas. And so here we go. These are so retro. This is so retro. Some of this will look familiar. This is Keith Thompson there. Keith Thompson. He's basically just got a shelf above his Atari with some games on. There is another shot of Keith Thompson's. This is Cameron McDade. Now look at this. I mean, that is a proper, where'd you get that? MFI, that sideboard, that transformed into a computer workstation.
And there it extends around the corner. He's got his massive classic wood-fronted CRT with his VHS recorder below. What a beautiful setup. And finally, Darren Martin there, who seems to just put all his stuff on the table in the dark. I mean, his room is very bleak. It's very black at the back there. Very black, but it just shows there is nothing new in the world of video games.
I didn't mean to break your pencil. I didn't mean to steal your gum. I didn't mean to read your magazine. I didn't mean to... There's always time for one of Daddy's special cuddles.
Now, regular viewers will know it's not just about the games for me, it's also about all the ephemera, all the posters, bits and pieces, the magazines, the freebies, the little gifts, everything that's related to the whole of gaming. That takes you right back to the 70s, 80s and 1990s when gaming shops were new and fresh and exciting, and now it's all old and a bit stale. Well, maybe. Now, I like to collect things that are a bit odd, like, you know, badges and posters and little trinkets and memories. And I hoard this stuff and I like to show it on the show, and I've been saving a couple of things. Now, who remembers what compliment slips are? Now, that sounds to us, probably sounds like, well, of course I do. But do you get compliment slips anymore? You used to get compliment slips in everything. And what they are is just a little piece of paper with the logo of a company on, saying thank you for buying this, or, you know, little problems, you know, or little notes about things. Usually a little thank you. It's a little thank you on a piece of paper. And I found a couple of these over the course of the year, and I thought I'd save them for this show. And the first one is this one. It's from Castle Computers. Do you remember those? Look, Castle Computer. Remember the logo? I mean, these retailers, they are long gone, but this is the only kind of evidence they ever existed. It's compliment slips like this, maybe a catalogue you might find, but they're very rare. You'll remember seeing their adverts though. You'll see their adverts all the way through the 1980s. Castle Computers were a big retailer when not many people sent off the games. I mean, the mail order's pretty huge now. Amazon sort of destroyed the traditional retail. But they were ahead of their time, if anything, Castle Computers and those other companies. Now, this compliment slip says, this product has been tested and loads satisfactorily. Should you experience any further issues, please contact the manufacturer directly. In other words, don't tell us about it. All right, we've sold the game. That's it. You suck it and see. Yeah, but beautiful. It's just a little slip of paper, but it means a lot, doesn't it? You got these in your order. You've been waiting by the post. Things used to take 28 days to arrive back then. Yeah, it wasn't like the next day like we do. Like always next day or same day. No, you actually we will send this within 28 days. And in the lifetime of a kid, that's like waiting until Christmas. Yeah, so crazy. Anyway, that's that one. I got another one, and that is for Chicana. Do you remember Chicana? Now, they used to have huge adverts in all the magazines, like, you know, like almost a whole page just of lists and lists and lists of tiny little writing of games they didn't have in stock. They didn't have them in stock, but they used to make it up. They put games there that people knew were coming out, and then you'd send off for it, and they'd write back saying, oh, we'll hold your money, the game's not out yet, but we'll send it when it's released. It's like a massive scam. You used to go through loads of these mail order companies. They used to list stuff they didn't actually have for sale. It wasn't even out yet, but in a world where there was no release dates, you could get away with it because nobody really knew. Maybe they had access to the stock, maybe that your shop didn't have. I don't know. It was a crazy scam and it kind of works. Anyway, I'll show you this. This is from Chicana. Yeah, a huge mail order company back in the 80s. I don't know how huge they were. You know, was that like 10 employees, 1 employee? I have no idea how big they really were, but they had big adverts. You could say that might be a bit like the old Retrogames adverts. Big adverts, big full-page adverts. Not really the size of Amazon, no. Please find enclosed one of the 2 tapes your wife ordered. The other disc, Green Beret, has not yet been released. It proves the point. This is it. They take the money. Please accept our sincerest apologies for mistakenly telling you it was available. Yeah, because they would just list every game on every format and just rake in the money and then hold on to it. A horrible time, really, but also just so evocative of that era. 5 retro things. Number 3, your third retro thing. You're going to hate me for this because it's still not a game or a computer or anything. It is a
Yeah, I'm so excited about this item. It's a carrier bag. It is a level 9 carrier bag. I have never seen the like. A carrier bag of level 9. I mean, they must have been for a show. I'd imagine this was for a show. Maybe it had some posters in. Maybe some, like, I think Demo Tape would be pushing it. Maybe some posters, maybe some leaflets. It's probably given out at like the PCW show, something like that. I used to go like mid to late 80s. Used to go to the big PCW show at Olympia in London, and used to get bags full of posters and ephemera and all sorts of interesting stuff like this. And I just can't imagine, because they're not a retail company. They, you know, their games were sold through separate retailers or mail order companies. They weren't sold directly from Level 9, or were they? But not in a shop. Not in a shop. Even if you could buy from Level 9 online, you know, not online, through the post, you wouldn't have got this carrier bag. So yeah, incredible, and it just shows all their games. Worms in Paradise now available $9.95. I'll just go. I haven't even shown you it close up. Get on with it, Jace. Look at it. Look, it is in fantastic condition. Got the big Level 9 photo in the middle, the big logo in the middle, and all the games around the edges, in the style of a classic Level 9 box, really. And I just think, well, how much do you think that's worth? How much? I mean, that has got to be rarer than any of the games, hasn't it? Surely. Who keeps a carrier bag for 50 years? It's not 50, but 35 years to keep a carrier bag. It's a special carrier bag. I don't know. I don't know. Let me think. I think 30 to 50 quid. What do you reckon? Do you reckon is that insane? Am I losing the plot? Probably.
You lost the plot years ago, Jace.
Okay, let's get to the second part of our memories feature.
Retro facts.
Food, yes, of course, food from the 70s and 80s, so evocative and full of memories.
Waffles, a waffly versatile.
Grilled and bacon fry and meat.
Waffly versatile.
Potato waffles were fine, but my favourites were Findus double-deckers, and this is as close as you'll get to a photo of one. Meat and potato wrapped in batter.
You were a bubble in a bottle of what? Really? Are you kidding?
Originally, Corona started as a soft drinks delivery company, but what we had in the 1980s was the Alpine Man. Orangeade, strawberryade, cherryade, pineappleade, basically anything with aid at the end.
Licorice Allsop. Do you know, I love these so much. Sometimes I think I'm going to end up looking like a licorice Allsop. Can you imagine?
I think Bertie's also a bit terrifying.
Good old Bertie Bassett, he's Britain's greatest asset.
What are you doing?
I'm
just eating one of your ladies.
Susie's gonna sing about a different kind of chocolatey biscuit.
Trio!
Too loud.
Trio!
I said that was too loud.
I want a trio and I want one now.
Yeah.
There's times when a man's gotta chew what a man's gotta chew. Toffo.
I'll have a strawberry one, please. Now, we all know the Dib Dab, but what about the Lemonade Dipper, the harder, fizzier relative, sadly now discontinued? Now, the Retro Bear suggested these. These are E.T. biscuits, Coke-flavoured custard creams with a free collector's card.
I'm calling them bats after my fiendish friends here. Say hello, fellas. It's the fattiest snack you'll ever see, with a frighteningly flighty flavour. And they said I'd never get it off the ground.
New bats in horror bags.
Yes, horror bags were my favourite childhood crisps. Best of all were bones, but you couldn't reconstruct them into a mini skeleton.
You'll love the real taste of pizza in Walker's Pizza.
It's criminally eating up in front of my face. Easy pieces for bits of pizza. If I don't get Walker's, I'm a hard-boiled head case.
Walker's Pizza. You'll love them to bits.
And I really miss the flavour of these ones.
Hey, when you're cheesed off, say cheese.
Now, Retro Claire suggested this memory. Do you remember when Blue Peter told us to bake our crisp packets and turn them into key rings?
KP Skydivers. They're exciting, they're different. They're crispy corn snacks in beef.
I would be a lot happier about this memory if it wasn't the same voice that used to put out the nuclear warnings.
A warning may come quite unexpectedly. We will now tell you what to do if a warning sounds when you are at home.
5 retro things.
Number 4 of your 5 retro things is this. It's a game. It actually is a game. It is Hyper Flash 32. And you're thinking, well, what the heck is that, Jace? Well, it is a Virtual Boy multi-cart, sort of. Let me show you. So it's very rare, very rare. These are like £400, £500, £600, incredibly hard to find. And you all know what the Virtual Boy is. It's Scumpy Yoki's 3D failed console. There's one behind me. Look, it's there! It's there! You can see it! Anyway, the thing about this is, and I really am quite blown away. Here we have the cartridge. We got the manual. Look at that manual! Yeah, because it's Christmas. All right, just because it's Christmas. Go with yourselves. Let's get the cartridge out. Now, what do you think? That looks really cool, and that's because the front of the cartridge is a screen. That is like a Kindle, like that liquid paper, like electronic ink. So it looks like it's drawn, doesn't it? But you download the game and it changes the image on there, and you can see on the back it's got some instructions, it's got some controls. There's actually controls. You can go left and right and select. I'm not really sure. I haven't tried it yet, but I just thought, wow, a screen on the middle of a game cartridge. That really changes the scope of homebrew, doesn't it? If you've got to have a changing screen actually on the front. Imagine Atari VCS multi-cart, you can go through the games on the actual cartridge. Beautiful, what a thing. Definitely worthy of the number 2 slot, I thought.
Oh, so this Christmas I'm hoping I'm going to get a new boyfriend. Yeah, I'm going to ask Darren to move into the spare room.
Competition time!
Competition time!
Yeah, now this brings back some memories. We don't do this anymore, do we? The competitions. Welcome to your festive Christmas competition dedicated to the Hardcore 44! Yes, thank you! I've got the sheets. I have the sheets. This brings it all back, doesn't it? Yes. Before I put them on the screen, I will just say I am breaking the Hardcore 44. I have the full list of the Hardcore 44. I'm not doing that massive chart like I did last year, running down the top 44 and who's top. But I've separated you into gold, silver and bronze. Yes, based on how much you interact with the show. Because a few people have drifted, let's be honest. It's a tired old show. I keep churning it out. It's boring, and I don't blame you for dropping off, but it doesn't mean you get to win as many prizes, because we have, I think that I've broken the top 14 gold. Shall I just stick it up? I'll stick it up. Here are the runners and riders. Yeah, okay. Now let's just a quick mention to the gold, and these are not in particular order. I know 8-Bit Boy is at the top. That doesn't mean he's number 1, but the top 14 there are super hardcore. They tend to reply to every single thing I do and leave a comment, and then we have a bit of a chat. So they are the super gold Hardcore 44. So big shout out to you. I'm going to mention you all. Because you're all my friends. I do feel, especially the gold, lots of the silvers are my friends too, but the golds really just giving me so much love. 8-Bit Boy, Ollie, as we've already discussed, he interacts with everything. I watch his shows, he watches mine. I love him. That's a bit much. That is a bit much. 2, Retro Import Gamer, that is our mate James. I love him as well. I love them all. James, who's absolutely brilliant. Jen Pix at number 3 from Scotland. He's got more charisma than any of us. There's something about him, I could watch him all day long. Hang on, Retro Import Gamer, I've done twice. James, you're in twice. That means there's only that's unlucky 13 to be gold. That means it's a Hardcore 43. I've really screwed this up. Yeah, I put James in twice. Forget about that. Peter, yes, Peter Redwin, another absolute legend, a member of the Hardcore 44. He comments on everything. Hang on, James, you've got it to my list. Retro Import Gamer, James is in there 3 times. It's not going to count. Well, you can't have 3 shots. So it's the Hardcore 42 now. It wouldn't be fun if things didn't go wrong. For some reason, I put him in 3 times. I don't think I've doubled anybody else. But if you see your name twice, well done. You're going to get an extra shot at the competition. I'm going to scrub out those 2. If those 2 extra numbers for James get called, I'm afraid they don't count. So there's only 12 in the gold. There's only 12 golds now. 12 gold members, not many, is it? 3 years of my life. Okay, number 7 is Retro Ed. I love Retro Ed. He loves his toys and his Game Boys and his handheld stuff. He's a bit like me. 8, Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper's Australia. We have to keep him in. He doesn't comment as much as he used to, but he's in Australia and we love him for that. Retro Tap, Richard Tappenden, another huge Retrogames fan, a founding member of the Hardcore 44. Beesball, our American contingent, is still with us. He's still watching after all these years. Justin, he used to be our number. Last year he got voted the top Hardcore 44 member. I've put him down at number 11 minus 2, 9. Just because he doesn't want to be at the top. He doesn't want to be at the top, but again, huge fan, and he watches every single show. 12, Rusty. My old mate Rusty sends me some lovely presents, looks after me, sent me that lovely badge of the Cuthbert badge. Do you remember that? So yeah, he's there, he's solid, he's always going to be in the gold. PJ in Ireland, I've already mentioned you, fantastic. And Adam's little story, last year I gave away the Hardcore 44 mugs to all the membership, and he never got his. And I only got 44 made. I couldn't get it sent off. I couldn't get a replacement. I was like, trouble to get a replacement for him. And I was kind of like really sad. And then in the summer, maybe like August, September, he wrote and said, I found the mug. The postman had left it behind the bin. Now that does make me think how often you check your front garden, how often that bin is moved, but thankfully yes, the Hardcore 44 mug is with him and he got it. Now okay, competition time. What are we going to give away for the competition? Well, I can't give away anything without introducing an old member of the team. Do you remember this guy?
My name is Marvin. My name is Marvin. Remember my name? 'Cause my name is Marvin. My name is Marvin.
Yes, Marvin's in the house. Here is Marvin. Hello, Marvin.
I'm not happy. You've got another robot. He has arms and legs. Who needs arms and legs? I hate him. I hope he gets a virus and corrupts himself.
Well, I'm glad you got your back anyway. That robot, he's not important. He's not important. He hasn't even got a name. You'll always be the original. Everybody loves Marvin. I see you've got a new cable there. I've got a white cable now. You've got a white cable. That's new, isn't it? It's like someone accidentally threw away your old springy cable and replaced it with a different one. How do you feel anyway? Have you had a good year, Marvin? Have you had a good year? Have you enjoyed being locked in your cupboard all year?
I have had a terrible year. I want to be back on the show every week. I think you are an incompetent host. You need me. You need me to do the calculations. You need me to make everything work properly.
Oh, just get over yourself, you big giant alarm clock.
Prize number 1. Do you remember this? This is the Nintendo Keychain that I got in Japan. Do you remember I got this in the official Tokyo Nintendo shop, playing the Gachapon machine. It's the only place in the world you can get them, and I brought them back from my travels. So if you watch the Jason Japan show, which was epic, then you can have a little memento from my actual time there. Yeah, it's a bit of a NES controller. It's the far right of a NES controller with the fire buttons. It's like a fidget spinner that doesn't spin. Fantastic. That is the first prize. Good luck, everybody. Let's see. Are you ready, Marvin? Let's turn him on. Okay, we've got a 0. Let's go. Go, Marvin. Yes, is that 31? We have 31, and who is that? 31. Rue Moore, well done, Rue Moore. You are my brother. Thank you for watching, and I've got to give you that now. I've got to give you that. At least I haven't got to send it. Okay, you won. Okay, now we've got one more present that includes the bronze gang. Nobody bronze won, and that is another one of those. And you'll see this is the middle section of a NES controller, and the first of our very special coaster sets with featuring the characters from the show. You can have some exclusive coasters. Yeah, I know. What the hell are you going to do with those? Okay, are we ready? Let's go. Okay, we're still on 42. Good luck, everybody. Go, Marvin. Wow, that was a long one. It's number 3. Number 3 is Jen Pix. Jen Pix, you are a winner. Congratulations. You have won some horrible coasters and a little fidget toy. Okay, now I'm going to change the number down. So we're going to drop down to 32 now. The chances of winning, if you're above them numbers, if you're in the top 30, yeah. Well, the numbers are all wrong, aren't they? I'll probably have to keep it to 34. I'll keep it to 34 because the numbers won't make sense. But you've got more chance. You've got more chance for the next prize. This is the 3rd of 6. And it's exactly the same again. It is another keychain and another set of coasters. Slightly different characters. These are exclusive sets. You will not get the same characters on every one. But if you hate the characters from the show, as it seems a lot of people do, bad luck. Bad luck. But you might win anyway. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Go, Marvin. Yes! And what is that? Is that 24? Who is number 24? Retro DX! Yes, a brilliant silver level contributor to the show. Well done. You are at the end of the show. You have to send me your address details, and we'll just get these prizes off to you. You don't have to pay postage. Okay, right. We're in the top 3 now. There's 3 more prizes, and this is an exciting one. This is one that you might actually really want to win. It is, what is that? It is a £20 gift voucher at retrogames.co.uk. I don't even say the website name. A £20 gift voucher at retrogames.co.uk. It is the world's greatest Retro Games website, and I would say that, wouldn't I? You know, it's my baby. But you can buy some pretty good stuff in the bargain basement. You could buy, you know, 10 things for 20 quid in there. So yeah, get some free credit. You can buy your own Christmas present. Okay, good luck, everybody. Here we go. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, Marvin. Yes, it's 0. Okay, let's go again. I didn't know it included 0. Go, Marvin. 0. This show is doomed. Yay! We got a proper number. It's number 14. Who's number 14? It's Adam! Adam! It's going to get left behind a bin in your front garden. But you've got a £20 voucher to spend on the site. I don't think you're actually a customer of ours. Do you buy from us? I don't think you do. So that's an experience for you. You get to buy it. Okay, now we get to the big 2 last prizes. I'm dropping it down to, I'm putting it down to 14. It's out of 14. Now, what's the prize for this one, Jace? Well, there's 3 prizes for this prize. We have got the controller part. It's another one of those key rings. You get that. You get this. Now, if you're a bigger boy, you're going to do all right. But, you know, if you're a Slim Jim like James, it's going to be too. But it is a very limited, exclusive, massive Retro Games Hardcore 44 t-shirt. There's the only one in the world. I had it made for myself and didn't like it. So I'm giving it away as a prize. The Retro Games Hardcore 44 t-shirt. And also this. What the heck is that? It is a bag of broken pieces of a game. Do you remember the game Spawn of Evil? I smashed it to pieces in one of our shows earlier in the year. Check this.
Never gonna play it again. Never gonna play it again. Never gonna play it. Never gonna play it. Gonna play it. Never gonna play again. I really hate this game. Don't make me play it again. No, I'm never gonna play it. Never gonna play it. Never play this game.
Yes, you can. I couldn't throw it away. It's memorabilia from the show. So there's 3 things in this. 3 things you can win. Let's see if Marvin can work properly. James, you're only on number 2. If it goes number 4 or number 6, we're going to re-roll. I'm hoping it's not going to do that. This is for our second prize of the day. Let's go, Marvin. Yes, it's number 3. That is Jen Picks again. Jen Picks. You're not a big lad either. That t-shirt's going to swamp you. You really have won. So you've won 2 lots of crud. That's just the way Marvin likes it. Marvin, he's a world unto himself. You know, he gives away the same thing. He gives away to multiple people. That's fine. Nothing we can do to it. We can put him in the bin. Nothing we can do with him. That leaves 1 prize. And what is the last prize? Well, it's the 3rd and final coaster set. You get the coaster set. Oh, is this a bit boring? It's a bit boring, isn't it? Yeah. All right, I'll have some of that. Yeah, you know him. Yeah, all the same. Different characters. You got the keychain again. That's actually the D-pad. Yeah, that's the fun one. And this, and you can imagine what this is, can't you? It is a Retrogames voucher for £50. £50, you Hardcore 44. You gold boys, you've got a chance to win this. Okay, it's not going well. Let's hope it plays fair, doesn't choose number 4 or number 6. Okay, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go Marvin! Yes, it is number 9. Number 9, and that is Retro Tap. Richard Tapperton, you have won 50 quid. 50. God, I have to keep checking because it could have been 6 the wrong way around in the camera there. You have won 50 quid. 50 quid plus some coasters, plus a key ring. Well done, Richard. You've won. Sorry to all you guys who really deserved a prize and didn't get one. I'm not sending something to all of you Hardcore 44 ever again. Get over yourselves!
5 retro things.
Here it is then, number 5 of our 5 retro things for Christmas. And I know what you want to say.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Yeah, what is in the box? It is in a big cardboard box because it's hardware. I'm going to try and turn this for the camera and do the reveal. It's so big, it's not going to fit on there. What the heck is it? What have he slammed in a box? It's black. It's black. There's loads of stuff with it. It's a Commodore CD TV. Now, we don't get many of these. I'm not sure we've ever shown one on the show. I thought I will show you a Commodore CD TV because it's a beautiful thing. Here it is then. It is a big black beast. It's like a separate, it's like a CDI. It slots underneath your TV. It's proper heavy. I mean, literally, I'd say 9 kilos around. And let's get it on the big camera and show you. So there we have the cartridge slot and all the controls at the front there. We've got that beautiful shiny Commodore logo. CD. It's in lovely condition, this one. Fully tested and working, I'll have you know. We can have a look underneath quickly. Yeah, it's got some labels. Let's show you the ports. So we've got loads of outputs there. We've got the remote control, wired remote control. We've got the power in there. We've got an in-out MIDI ports. Yeah, a lot of people use the Amiga for digital music back then and sequencing. We've got the disk drive port. We've got a serial port. What's that? A parallel port and an RGB video port. We've got an antenna in, and so you could do it, daisy chain it, to TV and out of TV, and of course the component out. It's really heavy. It's so heavy to hold. That is the console. Let's move on to what goes with it. It's funny, isn't it, when you've spent a lifetime of knowing Commodore as that creamy beige colour, to have it all black. And there is the keyboard, separate plug-in keyboard. And there we have it, the Commodore keyboard, all black. Got the Commodore CD TV logo there on a stretchy foam cable to plug it in. Then we have this. This is the CD TV remote controller, like a giant infrared remote. A horrible solution, really. You've got joypad controller for games. It's very wide. You can use the number pad to select programs on the disc. It's got play and record and that, because you could use this to play edutainment, just like CD TV, edutainment, those sort of things, music, video CDs, stuff like that. Yeah,
I don't like it. I mean, it's very basic, isn't it? A little D-pad on the side, and then 2 fire buttons, but that is the infrared, there's an R, infrared remote control. I spent a whole 20 years of my life saying infrared. No, infra. Moving on. Now these are strange things. These are caddies. Yeah, nothing to do with golf. So you require a special grip to open this up. You push down, there's 2 little push pressure points here on the ends. You pull like that, you pull the lid open, you put your disc in, you shut the disc, and then you plug this into the CD TV. We've got one of these in black and one of these in classic Commodore beige. Yeah, so unusual, fiddly, crazy decision. You know, there were normal CD players all over the place when this came out that didn't have this. They had a drawer. But no drawer, we'll make these caddies. Strange. Ever seen a black Commodore mouse? No, a beautiful black Commodore mouse. That's the official mouse for it. Yeah, it's just the same as a normal Amiga mouse, but it's black. And what about this? This is an all-black external drive to play Amiga 1200 games, because it is still a Amiga. You can play floppy disk games on this. It doesn't require separate power. It's powered by the console itself. Yeah, it's the CD 1411. Beautiful condition. Again, fully tested as well. We did play Amiga games on this console. It doesn't feel like I should call it a console, does it? It's such a big beast. And we've got a couple of games with it, nothing particularly exciting. We've got the Hutchinson Encyclopedia. Yeah, that's just the sort of thing you want to spend all this money for. And we've got a SimCity, version of SimCity. There are versions of loads of games for the CD TV, but there is compatibility issues between the later CD32 console, which was based on the Amiga 1200. So yes, you can play some Amiga CD32 games on the CD TV. You can play most CD TV games on the Amiga CD32, but just typical of Commodore. You know, it's like A500 versus A600 all over again. Some games for the CD32 won't work on it, and some games for the CD TV won't work on the CD32. So yeah, messy. It's a shame, but you can still play the disc stuff, and you can still play all the CD TV stuff. Which is incredibly rare, because this was a very unpopular console, sold in tiny numbers, but that's what makes it so desirable for us Amiga fans. It's the king of all Amigas. I actually persuaded my brother to buy one of these. It went on special offer. It was about 100 quid from our local Currys on some like clear out, because nobody bought it. And I persuaded my brother to use all his money and his birthday present and everything to get one. And then he didn't know what to do with it, because he couldn't afford any CD TV games. We didn't have the external drive, and it just sat on a shelf forever. Until I think I wrangled it out of him. I swapped it for some Transformers or something. Like you did as a kid. Like you did. So anyway, what a brilliant item for to end our 5 festive things with.
5 retro things.
So, have I managed to save the best part of the show till last? Well, let's see, shall we? Here we go for the third part of our feature.
Retro facts.
Our final trip into the world of memories is all about the way of life. As a kid growing up in the 70s and 80s, you were free. You could go out with your mates, ride your bike around the town. Now, do you remember these? 2p and 5p dispensers outside most newsagents. You could get a toy for 2p. Of course, our favourite hangout was the park. But parks have become so safe and boring now. Do you remember when slides were this high? Most UK park equipment was made by Wicksteed in Kettering. And back then, safety really wasn't the major concern. At the parks in London near my nan's, we would queue to get on the slide. And the slide was so tall, there was a little house at the top with bench seating where people could wait. I will admit the one on the left there looks a little bit too scary. Now, roundabouts, this is the classic threepenny bit of my childhood. You remember that big round ball in the middle that you could try and sit on? You'd be slowly going around and then some bigger boys just spin it around so fast and you're almost flying off, gripping on for dear life. Now, what about this? The witch's hat. Now, these were banned, but we used to love them when I was a kid. Yeah, you'd climb up on them. Apparently people got crushed to death on them. Then there's the others, the classic seesaw, the rocking horse and the rocket. All our precious childhood memories left to fester and die. Now, this memory is a bit London-centric, and it's got to do with tube trains. I used to travel on tube trains as a kid, and I was fascinated by these, the danglers. I can remember asking my mum what they were for and why I couldn't have one. As I've said many times, a lot of my childhood involved hanging around video game shops. But that's not to say I didn't love toys too.
Kick him out with the bionic transport and repair station. Control his amazing lifting strength. See through his wide-angle bionic eye. The man, his bionic transport that becomes a repair station, and a working backpack radio.
Yes, we all know that 70s and 80s toys were the best. But it was only recently that I remembered the hard sell you would get in toy shops whenever you tried to buy something. Just like the warranties they used to foist on you in Currys, toy shop staff would always try and hard sell you expensive batteries. Ooh, now that takes you back, doesn't it? Nothing quite as evocative as vintage batteries. A major part of our lives, we always needed some. Yes, Vidors. I remember the Vidors. What about this one? The giant PP7, it was usually in your cycle lamp.
Skyhawk, the fantastic new hang glider for Action Man. First launch it, then release the tow gear. And Skyhawk soars high above the ground.
It never flew like that.
Matchbox announced the nearest thing yet to the thrills of a real-life car chase. Matchbox Race and Chase. It's the only slot car set that lets you U-turn, like real cars. You can jump. You can race. And you can actually control those U-turns.
Yeah, but the car always flew off the track when you tried to do it.
Matchbox Race and Chase, the first car chase that's safe for kids.
Do you remember how exciting Christmas was when you was a kid? What strikes me is that as amazing as these big toys were, it was all those little things, the stocking fillers, the things your nan would buy you and she didn't really know why. The stuff you'd use your pocket money for. There seemed to be a lot of stuff for kids made of rubber back then. I guess it was cheap at the time and easy to make into little wobbly toys. Do you remember these kind of things? You stick them on your fingers and waggle them about. I'm sure I had some of these rubber faces that sat on the end of a torch, lights shining through their eyes and making faces on the bedroom wall. Now, something I've been obsessed with forever is indoor fireworks. Thanks to one childhood Christmas at my nan's house, we've been enjoying these as a family every Christmas for decades. While they're very hard to find now, back in the 70s and 80s, you could get boxes in the shape of trains and double-decker buses. So what are they like? I hear you cry. Well, they're absolutely pathetic. Like the touch paper and prepare to be amazed. This is the king of indoor fireworks. It is a snake. We're not just burning a piece of paper. There is a snake that's going to emerge from the flames. Everyone always makes a joke about it not being a snake, about it being a small poo. And you can see the reason why. They are a brilliant way to fill your Christmas home full of smoke. Putrid, stinking smoke. Fireworks are not meant for indoors, I get that, they're not. And every set always includes some mini sparklers, so the whole family can join in. And yes, it still feels ridiculously dangerous to be doing this in your living room.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Did I say that before? Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for watching and thank you for all your support over the last year. If you're a regular viewer of the show, well, I pity you. I pity you, but thank you. Thank you for sticking with it and watching this. I'm sure I will be back very soon. Now, I'd like to end the show on a something good, something exciting, something fun. Will I do it? I don't know. Depends how much time I've got left. This has taken that edit or what? Let's just see. Did I come up with something good as an ending? Goodbye, everybody. Happy Retrogaming, Retrogamers.
Hey, Jace, it's Christmas. Don't we always ask that mate of yours if he wants to play cards?
And of course, your being one game towards rubber makes you vulnerable. So if you go down on your contract, Any under tricks are going to cost you a penalty of 100 points, not just 50, all right? But then you don't intend going down on the next contract, do you? By the same token, I hope my partner and I are going to get the cards to at least win a game, even things up, and stop you getting a 2-game rubber. Meanwhile, are you at all bemused at what's happened? Well, I hope not, because I deliberately didn't stop to make explanations throughout, because I wanted you to experience the whole thing right the way through, the bidding, the play, and the scoring, just to show you the endless fascination of bridge and how the tables can be turned in just one hand.
I'm sure, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw,
well now,
and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
What will you show us?
My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
And now, Amanda.
My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
You're looking for a fit. How your hand will dovetail into your partner's, so that the choice of suit or no trump will be the right one for the hand to be played in. Well done, partner.
Oh, lucky old you.
Special goodbye from Uncle Jack Newnes and from me. Goodbye and good bridge. Bye-bye.